other top story, the death of O.J. Simpson.
Many of us remember covering his trial and his astounding acquittal, and many viewers remember watching it unfold in real time. Simpson died yesterday from prostate cancer at the age of 76. Our own legal expert, Irv Miller, was among the attorneys who played a role in the O.J. Simpson trial, representing a witness in the case.
Irv joins us now. So, Irv, just to start, what was your witness testifying about, and how did you come to represent him?
If you remember, Detective Furman testified at a preliminary hearing that he never used the N-word in the last 10 years. Well, a national TV network subpoenaed, or FOID request, of Detective Furman's personnel record. They found out that like 7 years before Nicole was killed, my client was arrested by Detective Furman, harassed by Detective Furman, and while he sat in the backseat of a police car, he used the N-word. It was documented. My client's brother was a law enforcement person. He said, "What do I do?" He said, "You call Los Angeles Internal Affairs and make a report." One night, I get a call at home from my client. A national TV network wants to interview me. What do I do? I said, "You're not talking to the news."
Right.
I'm a former prosecutor. I got in touch with the LA District Attorney's Office. I got in touch with the defense, told them both what my client had to say. And my client ended up on the witness stand on the case, testified under oath that, in fact, Detective Furman used the N-word 7 years before. The judge then asked if Detective Furman was going to testify in rebuttal to contradict what my client said. Detective Furman took the fifth. He wasn't going to testify.
Not to incriminate
The judge instructed the jury, Detective Furman's not going to rebut that. You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can take that for whatever you think it's worth.
Yeah.
And we ended up with a not guilty on the case.
Eyes around the world were focused on that courtroom. There were dozens and dozens of cameras and reporters outside the court. What was it like being in that atmosphere?
It was an absolute circus. The hallways were filled with people trying to get into the courtroom. There were mini cams everywhere. When my client finished testifying, we walked to our car. 50 mini cams were chasing us. I thought they were going to kill each other, trying to get in the right position.
Sure.
Being in a courtroom to me in front of a judge that could not make up his mind about anything was a very frustrating thing for me as a lawyer. So it was an educational experience, but it's something I'm glad I went through.
Well, you actually call it the highlight of your career. So if we're talking here from a legal perspective, lawyer to lawyer between the two of us, looking back, were you surprised by the outcome, the verdict?
I wasn't surprised by the outcome because when I was in the courtroom, I sat right next to the jurors. I was as close to one of the two jurors as you and I are sitting right here. And it happened to be two black gentlemen that were sitting in the front row. And as soon as my guy testified that Detective Furman used the N-word, one of them tapped the other one on the leg.
Is that right?
I knew right then and there this was either going to be a hung jury or not guilty. So I'm not surprised at the verdict.
Great insight to hear.
Great insight.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much.